Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Victor again with my Ioniq 5. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about taking our cars through automatic car washes. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about putting our cars into neutral and how to keep them there. Now you might be thinking, oh, that shouldn't be that hard, or that's not even an issue. But let's say you go to an automatic car wash where you have to get out of the car at some point. Well, you'll realize that anytime you open the door, the car is going to shift into park. What's happening is the car has built-in safety features that want to make sure you're not accidentally shifting into neutral. So it's going to do everything in its power to shift into park, and that makes things a little more complicated for us as the owner. Let's start with scenario one, which is a typical belt-driven car wash system, which is what I have nearby, where I as a driver stay in the car basically as a ride-along. So what happens is I'll stick it in neutral, take my foot off the brake. As soon as you take your foot off the brake, the car will prompt you to confirm you want to stay in neutral. So you want to press OK on the steering wheel. You want to hold it until a new prompt comes up saying that you are now in neutral. Now, if for whatever reason you miss the prompt or you don't press the OK in time, that's fine. You can just put it into park, shift it back into neutral, and retry that process again. Now, personally, I've actually tried staying in neutral without pressing OK, and at least for me, as long as I don't open the car door, it stays in neutral. So I think for this ride-along car wash, it's pretty simple. Just put it in neutral and you should be okay. But again, if you've noticed something else happen when you do this, let us know in the comment section below. Now, let's move to scenario 2, which is the kind of car wash where when you get to the front of the line, the attendant tells you to get out. Well, now you're in trouble because if you follow the steps from before, as soon as you open the car door, it's going to pop itself back into park. So what do? Well, here are the steps. The beginning steps are the same. You want to shift into neutral, take your foot off the brake, the prompt will come up. You want to hold the OK button on the steering wheel until the prompt changes, confirming that you are now in neutral. But this is where things change. Now you want to put your foot back on the brake, you want to hit the start-stop button, and it's going to change you into accessory mode. Then you want to make sure you press it one more time to take yourself out of accessory mode. Now the car is technically partially on, the motors are not engaged, but it is on. Now you can open the door, and you'll see that it does not shift back into park. Now you can freely come and go as you please. The car will stay in neutral. Now, let's say the car goes through the wash, reaches the end of the tunnel, you get back in, and now you want to shift it back into drive. What do? Step number 1, put it into park. Once it's in park, hit the start-stop button again, and now the car will be in the fully on mode with the motors ready. So you just shift into drive, and off you go. Now, there is a third way, which I'm going to call the neutral shortcut, which is to open the car door first. So while you're still in drive or park, open the door and then shift into neutral, and you'll actually hear it. The car is going to start beeping at you, asking you to shift it back into park, but you can just ignore it. You can exit the vehicle, close the door, and it should remain in neutral. So the steps for you will vary a little bit depending on what kind of car wash you're going to, but if you know these steps, then you'll be prepared for whatever scenario you face. So I'll put the instructions back up for you guys to take a look at. Unfortunately, the manual kind of makes it a little confusing at that very last line where it just says accessory mode will shift back into park automatically. I wish they would have just added a line to tell you hit the start-stop button again to take yourself out of accessory mode. Also, it doesn't really tell you how to leave this permanent neutral mode, which is just to put the car into park, hit the start-stop button again so the car is fully on, and then you can drive away. So anyways, I hope that was helpful. I would recommend just practicing it a couple times so that you remember it. That way, when you get to the car wash place, you'll be ready, or you never know when you might need it. Maybe you need to pop it into neutral, have the car towed. You just don't know. So like I said, try it out, remember it, and you'll be good to go. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.